I've had to add this at the very start because the audio, which I've just had a look at, is unusable from the first part of the first video. If you want to see that video, the link is just down below, but it's difficult to pick up what's going on. So I have decided not to include it in this videos. But if you want to hear the mess that is the audio, link is down below. Anyway, let's cut away and start coding after the fade. And so we have a player. And so now we need to figure out a map. Okay. So what can we use for a map format? Export, save. I mean, the ideal one. So we have a player. Is so now we need to figure out. I suppose we just use text. To be honest, that's probably the easiest one. So if we have ideas we use for a map format. What was my idea? I said I was going to rip off. I mean, the ideal one rip off. Alienate, because I have no original ideas. Okay, so this is the kind of idea I was going to go for, was this kind of ship type thing here, which is very kind of Galaga, actually, now that I look at it, or Galaxian. Anyway, so maybe what we'll have is, we'll have, well, this has to be larger than, so it has to be like 90 by 90. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's going to be 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we need 90 of these. So that's 9 there. We need another. So there's 90. Okay. So if we bring that all so that it's in one screen there. Oof. Yeah. So it's quite a big map. Unfortunately, the characters aren't square, but that's what happens. So maybe we want to kind of procedurally generate this. This is why it gets a bit kind of tricky. So I think we still want 90 by 90. So our 90 by 90, we're going to have things like space. Okay, so space is going to be wherever space is. I've lost my Photoshop. Here we go. So space is going to be black because space is black. Oh, apparently it's a white hole. And then we're going to have like maybe a couple of stars. Something like that. And then we'll call that space. And we will do export, say for, I'll call it space. And then inside our script for here, instead of having sprite, we'll have this as blocks. And instead of, so this is going to be, we're going to have public vector to current position equals, and then this is going to be new vector 2, and then the current position is going to be 45, 45, because it's going to be bang slap in the middle of the ship, for lack of a better phrase. And then we're going to say that the offset, the tile, so the tile current, this is going to be var current tile equals blocks, and then it's going to be the blocks. I need to have this as what do I want to do here? I want to have some way to initialize this. So maybe the renderer doesn't have control over this. So for now, I'm just going to put this in here. So I'm going to say public, I'm not going to say int map equals new int, that's going to be 90 by 90. So this should go to 0. So my current block, so int sprite index equals, and it's going to be map, and then it's going to be current position dot x plus x, comma current position dot y plus y. And I probably should convert that to an integer. There you go. And then that gives me my sprite index, and then my sprite index, so sprite equals blocks sprite index. So right now everything is 0. So everything should be space when I bring it in. So floor center and blocks. Where's my sprite? Public sprite blocks. Oh, okay. And then if I bring that into here, and then we run this, we should end up being space. End up with nothing. What did we do wrong? Why did that not like that? It made things. Oh, with space. Oh, okay, that's why. So if I make space 1, so 1 pixel per unit, and then we run it, it should work. Okay, there we go. And if we make player the Z order like 100, that brings them right out front. So we should be in front of everything. So okay, so there you go. So there's our player who's currently in space. So what we need to do is we need to be able to draw things on the screen and walls and things like that as well. Okay. So 0 is space, 1 is floor, 2 is wall, 3 is door. Maybe that's maybe a nice to have. Okay, so how do we generate this map? I think what we do is we have another script. Script environment block renderer. So we do environment add a class, and then we'll call this map generator. So we'll make this mono behavior as well. And we will require map generator. So it needs a map generator. So hopefully when we do this, it'll just populate it, and then that'll be that done. so map generator. So we will do var map generator equals component map generator, and then this is going to be map generator dot generate 1990. So again, these are kind of arbitrary things. So I'm going to create a method in there, jump to there. So now, so it's going to be columns and rows. And so int map equals new map columns rows return map. That'll be new int. Okay. So at the very least, what we have right now is we have exactly what we had before, but the difference is we now have a script that will now generate random things for us. So there's that there, and then what did I say the first one was? So the first one's that, second one's floor. Okay, so floor tile is that one there. So if we now go in here and then go to generate, and now what we can do is we can say for I equals 0, I less than for I equals 0, rows plus plus x equals 0, x less than columns. And then we'll say that map x y equals random dot why does it need system? Dot range, and then it's going to be 0 and 1. And then when we run this, let's make it 0 and 100, greater than 50, 0 or 1. Okay, so it wasn't giving enough chance. Okay, so now we've got random floors and stuff. So obviously we want to be able to put the player inside inside these rooms, and then the rooms themselves then have to get walls around them, and then each wall needs to get inside there. Okay, so now we need to do our random room generator thing. Okay, so again, I think what I want to do is I'm going to save this to YouTube, Ludum Dare. Okay, and this is going to be overall thought. Okay, so my next thought is going to be I have a big area like this, and what I want to do is I want to have kind of lots of little rooms like this. This is a terrible way of doing it, but whatever. And then but I don't want to create corridors. That's the problem. I don't want to have, I just want to have walls between them. So what I really want to do is I kind of want to arbitrarily, I choose another color here. I want to split this down here. Actually, maybe this is what I want to do. Maybe I want to split this down here and then make that a wall. And then choose this one here and then split along the vertical. And now that I have these ones here, I can then choose to split. Maybe I split that here, and then this one, actually that's wrong there, sorry. So I split those two there, and then the next split will be this one here, and then this one here. And then the one after that, I then maybe it gets split horizontally again. So these, oh, sorry, pressed the wrong button there. Whoops. Went back up. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, back to where I was. So then you get that generation there, and then this one might have been split this way. And then this gives us smaller areas. And then from there we can then, like, maybe that creates a door there, and it creates one here, and it creates one here, and here, for example. And then maybe one in here. Okay, and then this gives us our sort of spaceship, and then you move between the rooms of the spaceship, picking up the resources, killing the aliens, waiting for the counter to count down, or until you die. And so again, that's the live stream. So thank you very much. Good night. Then we have to code this. Oh God. Okay. Right. So okay. So we have to cut this into smaller shapes. So the largest shape is just a rectangle. So we have a rectangle. So we have our rectangle here. So we've got rectangles. Oops. So this size is a brush. So, well, actually, it's, yeah, I mean, yeah, okay. I'm going to call it rectangle. Or area. So rectangle area, whatever you want to call it. And then each rectangle area can have 2 children. Okay. So that doesn't give us any space though. So we won't see any space. Or can we manage to do space? No, I don't think we're going to be able to do space. Okay, maybe we can leave space out just now. So space is out. So no space. But we need to get these walls in here. So the walls are going to take up one boundary line. That's going to be the boundary line in there. So here, so we're basically going to fill everything in as walls, and then the boundary is going to be the outside there. So let's say we have something like this here. Okay. So again, crude drawings, but whatever. So really this here. So let's say we split this here. So this is the rectangle that we split here. So really this part here is the rectangle that we're getting, because we need one block around there that's going to be the wall, because you don't want the player to fall out fall out into the abyss. So they need to go there, and then okay. I'm sure there's people watching this who have built roguelikes before, and they're like, "You people are idiots," but whatever, it's okay. Like I said, I've never built a roguelike before, so I thought this would be a nice challenge. Okay, so divide by 2. Okay, let's start coding and see what we get. Right, so our map generator, we're going to have, let's call it area. And that area, maybe just have double walls. The hell with it. I don't want double walls though. Okay, so area is going to be vector 3, vector 2 is going to be top, and vector 3, vector 2 is going to be size. Oh. Okay, so top equals top, size equals size. Okay, and then it's going to be public area left get set, public area right get set, and they're going to be set to null initially. Okay, so private set, oh, it's going to be public, that's why. Okay, so that is our that's our area. So our first area is so our map is this here. So our root area, new area, and then that is going to be new vector 2, and then this is going to be a tricky one. Our new top is going to be 0, 0, because we don't really care about anything like that. And our new size is going to be vector 3, 2, columns, rows. So that's our new root. Now what we want to do is we want to then split that root up, but we can't split it up into an infinite number of elements, because we only have we are 90 by 90, but if we have anything less than, say, like an 81, I would say an 81, like if you look in, where are we? Why is this not highlighting? So like that's, I don't know, where is that? So 9 to there. So roughly about that. If anything smaller than that, room size wise, I think is just, there's no point in making it. So I think we need a minimum size. So I'm going to say I want to recursively chop these into smaller and smaller parts until there's no part to chop up. So I want to say split root and I want to give it 81, and the 81 is the minimum size it can be. So if it's smaller than that, I don't want it to split up. So I'm going to generate that method there. Smallest area. So that's going to be the smallest area. Okay. So my root is going to be, I want it to be, I want it to decide whether I'm going to split vertically or horizontally. Okay, so I want to see if, actually I'm going to do an extension here, add, and then this is going to be one behavior vector to extensions. Public static area size this vector 2 vec return vec dot x and vec dot y. Okay, so that's going to be area size of that. So if I say if root dot size area size less than the smallest area, return. I don't want to split anymore. So if it's smaller than this, the area there, I don't want to split it anymore. Okay, so I now want to split it into two. So I'm going to roll a die, and I'm going to say if it's greater than 50, then I'm going to split it vertically. If it's less than 50, I'm going to split it horizontally, or one of the two. So int choice equals split dir equals range dot, wait, system in here again, random dot range and 0 100 is greater than 50, then I make it horizontal or make it 1, something like that. So if split dir, actually let's make it Boolean. So if horizontal, else it's vertical. So if it's horizontal, I want to split the two horizontally. So I want to say, I want to choose a random where am I? I want to choose a random direction, I want to choose a random column basically. But it's got to be basically half plus half plus or minus a little fudge factor, because I don't want it to be Let me just split it down the middle. So if it's horizontal, I'm going to say that the split is halfway down there. Okay, so I'm going to say if it's horizontal, area left equals new area, and it's going to be the topmost one because it's the horizontal one. So this is going to be root dot top, and the size is going to be new vector 2, and it's going to be the same height as the parent one. So it's going to be root dot size dot y, but it's going to be half the width. So it's going to be root dot size dot x. Okay, and then my area right equals new area, and then this is going to be root dot size dot x because it's going to be the half the other half of that. That's going to be new vector 2, but it's going to be the same top dot top dot y, and then it's going to be the same dimensions as this other one because it's a perfect split. Okay, and then that's going to be root dot left equals, actually we just do root dot left equals that, and that's going to be root dot right equals that. And then what we do is we then do split root dot left split root dot right. Smallest area. Okay. And then we want to do the same thing, but this time vertically. So I want to get the number of rows. So I want to split this direction here. So I want to choose a random row this time. But right now I just want to split it in half. Okay, so I want to say root dot left, which in this case is the top, equals new area root dot top new vector 2, and then it's going to be the same width root dot size dot x comma, and it's going to be root dot size dot y divided by 2, and then root dot right, which is the bottom, root dot, and then it's going to be new vector 2 root dot, it's going to be root dot top dot x because it's the same x value, but it's going to be this again over, and then it's going to be the same as this again. Okay. Okay. We might have to do some extra math in there, or at least extra tests in there, but that's the kind of gist of it anyway. And then we do return map there. Alright, so we set a breakpoint here because when I run the split should stop. Okay, what have I done wrong? Yeah. Okay. Well, clearly didn't think that through. I have crashed Unity. Okay. Right, let me change that little bit of math there to 9, and then say if size dot x is less than smallest area, or root dot size dot y is less than smallest area. Smallest area doesn't mean anything now, but okay. I don't know what that's attached to. Okay. Right. So we attach that there. Okay, well, you know, it didn't work, but that's kind of good. Oh, it didn't save the scene, that's why. Map generator. Okay. So, map generator, fingers crossed, should hit that return map. Let's go in there. Yay, return map. Okay. So our root should have 2 children, left and a right. So 1945, 1922, 1922. Not quite getting. So the size of that should be half of it. So the rightmost one is, so it's 90 by 90. So the rightmost one is 9045, and then the left one is 9045, which is right top and top. Okay, and so the right of this one should be 9022 and a half, 9022 and a half. Okay, 90. Okay, I mean, I think that looks okay. So now that we've got that, we need to find all the nodes that are leaf nodes. So I'm going to say public who is leaf node, turn left null and right null, because when I have all the leaf nodes, I then know what I need to draw on the screen. So, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw everything on the screen. Actually, do that debug there. So, number of rows. Actually, I don't want to do that. I want to draw everything in the renderer. So my block renderer here is minus to that. Okay. So what I want to do is for debug, I want to draw everything. So that would be minus 45 to 45. That would be minus 45 to 45. So that's minus 45 to 0. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, minus 45, 0, and then 44 the other side there gives you 90. Okay. I want to draw everything. So hopefully if I run this, it'll draw everything. I'll need to zoom out a bit, obviously, because I need to get everything. So that is the entire board. Okay. So now if I just alternate these ones here, maybe, so root, so I now need to go and find all the root there. So list, list area leaf nodes equals find leaf nodes root. Okay, and I want to do that. I want to do leaf nodes root. Okay. And what? I don't want system. I don't want that either. No. Okay. So if node is leaf nodes dot add node, else find leaf nodes node dot left, and then we'll go down the right, and then we should have all the list of leaf nodes. And let's build it. Return map. So leaf nodes. Well, that's not good. We should not have 163,000 whatever it is objects in there. We just shouldn't. How does leaf node add it? What? Do we have that many objects here? I don't think we do. No, I mean there's no way that's 170 squillion down there. That doesn't make any sense. Okay. Is that finding far too many leaf nodes? It's possible. It finds them quick enough. So that's double what we had. Okay, so root, right, 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 right. See, these are all. I mean, those for the longest time they were all. The rightmost one there, the size is 9045, 9045. That can't be right. Because the parent, the child can't be the same size as the parent. Okay, let's think about this. So, size equals root dot size root 2. Okay, so new area is size. What? It's not as easy as that though, is it? Because it's horizontal, so it's going to be new vector 2, and then it's going to be half the horizontal size, so it's going to be root dot size dot x divided by 2, root dot size dot y. And then this one's going to be the opposite of that. So that is going to be the same along in the x, but that's going to be divided by 2. Size. Okay. Unity. Better than it was. 22. 5.6. Top 22. Okay, and then we'll do okay. So the random size is gonna be it's a horizontal split there, so I'm splitting it down half there, but it needs to be plus or minus a quarter of that. So let's say we get 8. So half of that is 4. And then we want to do a random one between 2 and 4. If that makes any sense. So then we get a random number between 2 and 6. Okay, so we want the middle, and we want half either side of it. Okay. Okay. Random x equals, and then this is going to be root dot size dot x divided by 2 int. But that's going to be it's going to be a quarter of that plus half. So again, if I've got 8 there. So actually I've got 7 there. So 4 is the middle. Oh, actually, sorry, 8. Let's do 8. So 8. So the middle is 4. 4 is in the middle there. So I really want to be from 2 to 6. So I really want these ones here. So I want half and a quarter. So I want to add a quarter of that plus a random half. So that is going to be random dot range 0 comma that plus that. Okay. So that is going to be random x, and then that's going to be random x. Okay. And random y is going to be the same, but this time for y. So random y is going to be that, and then instead of divided by 2, I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to say for each bar node in leaf nodes, and we can change the minimum size as well, so we can maybe make the minimum size 45 or 40, something like that. And that gives us less nodes. So I'm going to say int block equals random dot range 0, 100 and 50 1 0, and I'm going to say fill map as node block. Okay, fill map with node block, and I'm also going to have fill map with root, and then it's going to be a wall, so it's going to be 1. I'm going to make it space just now because we don't actually have anything else there. And I'm going to generate that there. And let's put in system again. Okay, and then this is going to be block ID. So this is going to be for int y equals root top dot y. Y less than, and it's going to be root dot top dot y plus root dot size dot y. Y plus, and then the same thing again, but for x. So this is going to be x, and this is going to be x, 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 and x, and x. And let's say map x comma y equals block ID. And attach to Unity. And see what we get here. Crash. Return the map. We're getting 1s. Let's create another floor tile. So I'm going to create another one here, which is 108 by 108. And this is going to have the old magenta color in here, so that we know that something bad has happened. Bad happened. Okay. And then we'll do export. Save. Bad happened. And change that to 1. Apply. And then what we have here. Our floor, our blocks. Oh, that's why, because we didn't have floor. Ha! Ha! Okay, so that's why something bad happened. If it just read that, then that would have been fine. Okay, well, you know, partial success, I think. So if we make that instead of, what was the smallest I made that? 45 in the map generator. 40. So we'll make that 25. Maybe we'll get some interesting things here. Oh no, that's even worse. Yeah. Something's not right. Oh yeah, I really didn't like that. Maybe it didn't have bad happened. Okay. I'll put that there just in case. And that's not just doing anything there. perhaps this was a bad idea, doing it this way. Maybe we shouldn't have it randomly generated. Okay. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat. Overall thought, and then this is BSP tree idea. I'm going to create a. How do I resize this? Yeah. Image resize. So pixels. I want to make this 90 by 90. By 90. Okay. And I'm going to fill this in. And then I'm going to do painting. Even that seems quite big. Yikes. Okay. That's 90 by 90. Yikes. Okay. Well, okay, let's just do a random shape in here. So let's do this here. Something interesting like that. Something like that. And then what we'll do is we'll cheat. Because why not? It's only a jam. And we'll just call this map, for lack of a better phrase. And then I'm going to say okay. I'm going to change that to public texture 2D map, and I'm going to get rid of that class thing, and I'm going to get rid of all this generate guff in there, and I'm going to get rid of all of this here, and I'm going to say map.get pixels and color equals that for int I equals 0, I less than 0.length, I plus plus, and then int x equals, and this is going to be the ith number, and then it's going to be mod columns. And then, how's y done again? I guess we'll cross out the pencil. So 0, 2, 3, so E4, and this one here is I dot G equals 0, make that 0, otherwise make it 1. Oh, whoopsies. Int generated map equals new int columns rows, something like that, I think. Generated map there, there, and then that, and then that, and we get rid of this. And now we're cooking with gas. Now we have this funky map here, and now where are we? If we come into here, we now have map generator. I go to map. I make that sprite's good enough. And I make it 1. Click on apply, and then point no filter. Apply it. Then I don't want a map. Anything else? Tight, single, 1 center. Okay, that's good enough. And now I think I can just drag and drop that into here. Map, and then run. Oh yeah, gotta make it readable. Sprite mode single, yep. And is it advanced? I think it's advanced. Read write enabled. There we go. And we apply, and then we press play. Boom. We have a map. Okay, it's only taken 2 hours. Got a map. It's kind of funky. But yeah, that's a good map. I like it. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to not show everything. All right. So we can figure out how to make a map more interesting. Although that's quite an interesting map. At least this way we can specify different levels and all that kind of good stuff. So I'm going to comment this out, and I'm just going to put in region for debug in region, and then we can collapse that region there, and we can enable this one here. So now what we should get is we should just get the center part of our map. Awesome. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to get the character moving. Okay. And that's going to involve remembering where we last clicked the mouse. Okay. Unfortunately, he's right bang slap there. So what we can do is we can offset it slightly. So when I swipe this way, where I want to go? I want to go that way. I have to play with that one. Okay. So our current position is that. Hang on a sec, guys. I'm gonna have to stop the stream for a sec. Okay. Alright, sorry about that. Okay, get rid of this here. Rid of that there. I've got our things running there, and then what I want to have is I want to public so our map is going to be internal. That's the block renderer. So there's the current position. Actually, maybe what I want is I want to have public set current position. Int x, int y, and then I don't want to put this in a wake actually. I want to have this as public void update. So I want to have this as a public method called update map, and I'm going to have a game controller that will then control all of this stuff. So the current position is going to go as well, and then I'm going to say my map is in here. So my map is there. So the map is here. I don't want to generate it. I just want to say public and that's public there. That's that there. And then to generate the map, I want to have a game controller. So add class, and then this is going to be game controller. So start is gonna need that, and it's also gonna require type of block renderer. So it needs a block renderer as well. And I am going to create this here. I'm going to say map is that, and then I'm going to have var block renderer component block renderer, and I want to do that there. And what else do I want to do? I want to generate that there, but then I also want to say dot map equals map, and then block renderer dot set block renderer dot set position, and then I'm going to get that 45, 45. Then that will set the current position to being there. X, Y, and then I'm going to say update map. And the update map will then redraw the map. And this is going to be a private vector 2. So current position is going to be 0. Okay, and now inside here I'm going to have the floor center, which is going to get a bit crowded because I'm going to have a game controller here now. So my game controller is going to be there, and the game controller is going to do all these things here. It's going to generate these things. Maybe I want to have them as member fields. I don't know yet, but I probably want to have it as a. We'll see. Because what I want to do is I actually want to have public void move left, public void move right, public void move up. Actually, to be honest, these should be move left. It should be move east, west, north, and of course public void move south. And then our script is going to then determine inside here whether you can move left or whatever you can do. So the current position, so I'm going to say int x, y, so equals 45 equals 45. So that's the current player position. So that's going to be x and y. And then that should be it. So we should end up having exactly the same thing as we had before, but things are tidied up a little bit more. If that makes any sense. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So if I move this along to 50, so if I move this along to say 50, then we should see them on the floor. So now he's on the floor inside there. So let's leave it at 50 because 50 is actually on the floor. Okay. So I want a player movement now. I want to have a new class, and I'm going to call it player movement. And then I want to say public game controller, game controller. And for my player, I'm going to add this to my player in here. Sorry about that. I'm going to have to knock this in the head for the night. Because I'm running out of beer. But I want to get some player movement in here first of all. Okay, so wide update. Input dot mouse. There's a way to get swipe in all directions. Okay, here we go. First press pause. Okay, second press pause, current swipe. Okay, that's pretty much what I was going to do. Oh well. Alright. So I'm going to say if mouse input dot get button down get mouse button down and 0. Start 0 vector to mouse and if it's that, then mouse start equals input mouse position. And else if input dot get mouse button up 0, then mouse end equals input dot mouse position, and then what we want to do is var diff equals mouse start minus mouse end dot normalized, and then I want to say if diff dot y is greater than 0.8 and mathf dot abs if dot x is less than 0.5, then they pushed up. So I want to do game controller dot move north. Else if, and then this is going to be less than minus 0.8. Game controller dot move south. And how do I know if these have moved anything? Well, I am going to add game controller, and I'm going to say print north and south. Okay, so console window there. Opposite. Else if diff dot x is greater than 0.8 and math f dot abs dot y less than 0.5f game controller dot move east. Okay, so if this is right, so this should work east now as well. Yeah, the thing's backwards. Which means that is move north, move south. Okay. And then this is going to move west. And that is going to be less than minus that, less than that. So now we should have movement. East, west, north, south. Okay. So I'm going to say x plus plus. That there. X minus minus. So block renderer I need to make private member field anyway. And then this is going to be y minus minus, block renderer set current position x comma y. And then this is going to be block renderer dot set current position x comma y. So we can tidy this up a little bit. I might do that before I end the stream for tonight. That's adding more game objects. That's not good. Set current position. Update map. Oh, that should be generate map in there. Okay, so I need to I could do two things. I could delete things and then start them again, or I can rebuild them. So I'm going to rebuild them. I'm going to do a list, name object, and this is going to be squares, equals new list, name object, generic, and then I'm going to do void await. Then I'm going to say that's going to be for sprite, so that is going to be zero. I'm just going to make them all zeros. And then we update them. I'm going to say that the index is going to be it's going to be x minus 4. So it's going to be x equals x plus 4 and y equals y plus 4, and then int index equals yy times 9 plus xx, and that gives us the index into it, and then we can say squares index equals right. Okay. Actually, let's make it a sprite render. Because you don't really need to know the game object. Sprite equals sprite. Okay, so that updates the map, and that should not generate any more objects than we necessarily have to. Hey! I think we're backwards, but that's okay. Okay, guys, I'm going to call it a night tonight. I'm going to stop everything, stop recording, and I'm going to call it a night. I think that's a good place to end it. So thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you tomorrow. Hopefully I will be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, so they say. So thanks again. Bye-bye.